What's good? This is your boy Time Money, and today this is Thoughtform Dynamics, and I'm gonna talk about the creation, artificial creation of spirits, astral beings, and whatever you want to call them. Now, when it comes to Thoughtform Dynamics, I'm gonna talk about sigils, servitors, egregores, and God forms, and creating the astral realms instead of creating the astral realm. You know what I'm saying? For the spirits to inhabit it in. Now, when it really comes down to it, Thoughtform Dynamics was inspired by Robert Bruce Astral Dynamics. He went to the study and science of astral projection. And when it really come down to it, when I learn astral projection, I best to learn from him. And the rest of the other abilities from Ye Kawedin as well, which I highly admire. But at the same time, his website is kind of shady. So when it really comes down to it, though, Thoughtform Dynamics is all about spirit creation. It talks about what spirit creation is and what it's all about. And when it really comes down to it, it's all about, creating your own world, creating your own realm, creating your own astral kingdom, your astral paradise or hell or heaven, whatever you want to call it. And when it comes down to Thoughtform Dynamics, it talks about creating objects or form of spirits or astral beings that you can create in the astral planes as the inhabitant. And also, when it comes down to bringing this spirit into this physical world, that's when sigils come into play, and that's when other forms come into play. So when it comes to Thoughtform Dynamics, I'm only going to touch on the basis of it because I don't have the full knowledge yet of how to create Thoughtform Dynamics or how to create spirits in the actual sense. So when it really comes down to it, Thoughtform Dynamics is based upon creating spirits and creating astral realms for the spirits to live in as well. And so once you pass away and ascend, you get ascend to your own realm that you created and live with the spirits that you created in, and also venture out to other realms as well. So in the astral realm, on the astral planes, you can create a multitude of realms with the multitude of worlds within that realm, whether it be like 11 or 10 or even 100 or 50 realms or worlds that you want to create. And that's when Thoughtform Dynamics come into play. It's not just creating a separate consciousness, but also creating a subconscious worlds within your subconsciousness as your consciousness as well. So when it really comes down to it, the supernaturalness of these realms is so powerful and amazing, is that when it really come down to it, Thoughtform Dynamics helps you create your own spirit realms and stuff like that. And also create your own spirit race, your spirit kind, your spirit children, create your own spirit wife, your spirit God, create your own God form, create your own mythology. And that's what Thoughtform Dynamics is create your own mythology pantheon and build our story within the astral planes and the multitude dimensions within this earth as well. So Thoughtform Dynamics is really talking about spirit creation, creating spirits. And when it comes down to creating spirits, that's what it really comes down to. Is creating your own fantasy, creating your own imagination, because your imagination resides into your subconsciousness. So when it comes down to it, your imagination is key to creating your own spirit race and your spirit kind, creating your own spirit wife or your spirit children. And I'm going to go to the degrees and levels of what form or shape or form that you want to create your children in and your wife in as well, and your own God and goddess in as well, your own mythology. So when it comes to Thoughtform Dynamics, I'm going to get in touch in these bases of these things and so on and so forth. And the only way for me to learn about it myself is write it down in my journals and preach about it in my journals. So when it comes to Thoughtform Dynamics, it talks about spirit creation and realm creation.